Everybody to We Geek Podcast. Today is Wednesday, October 5th. This is our 76th episode, and my name is Adam, joined by my good friend Logan.
Hello.
What up, man? And if you're listening to this, we weren't there last week. That's totally my fault, technical issues. But we're back this week. Got a lot of news, saw a lot of things, and we'll get all into that, man. We got reviews of the Yin Yang. And some surprising ones for me, too. Like, there's ones that I thought I'd come in here just ready to gush about. But I watched some other things where I actually enjoyed it a little bit more. I shouldn't say I enjoyed it a little bit more, but it took me directions I didn't even think I was going to go. But we'll get into all that in a little bit. How's the last few weeks been, man?
Oh, same old.
Same old here, yeah. Just, dude, work has been insane these last 2 weeks, just absolutely brutal. I had one day off, I think, in the last 3 weeks, like the full day off, and I went to Disney. That's it.
Well, there you go. That's not a bad way to spend a day off.
No, yeah, we went to Food and Wine Festival, and it was a blast. Spent way too much money. Definitely regretted that part of it, but it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and but yeah, other than that, man, I've just been playing Destiny, Warcraft, a little bit of my 3DS. I purchased Dragon Quest I want to get into, but just kind of waiting for, like, we got Mafia 3 coming out.
Yeah, I've got everything cleared before VR. Like that's my next thing.
Didn't VR come out like today?
No, 13th.
13th, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I tell you what I did?
What did you did?
I pulled my order with that. I don't know. I want to get it, but
not yet. Little gun shy on it. That's understandable. I've been going back and forth on that too, but I've been
meaning to talk to you about it. Maybe we'll talk about it here, because it's just, it just doesn't seem. I don't know. I was first pumped. I was excited. And I mean, let's get into it. We got a lot of news, but let's get into it real fast. I was really into getting this. When I played that Vive, man, it's the real deal Holyfield. But I realized really fast that the PlayStation VR, I should say this, I haven't tried the PlayStation VR, but from what I understand from people who've done both, it's not the same. You're not in the room. It doesn't know where you're at. It doesn't know that level of detail. So I'm cautious. I want to try it out. It's at Best Buys, right?
Some of them, I think, yeah.
I need to go try it out. I think if I went and tried it out this weekend, I'd probably. I mean, I couldn't go and snatch one up when it first comes out, but I'm sure I could get one in a few weeks. But I want to try it out, because when I put on the Vive, it was the real deal.
Yeah.
I'm just curious how PlayStation's is going to be.
I'm not sure. Because I know it's more about being limited. Like, it's a difference between, like, the PlayStation VR is very games oriented, as opposed to the other VRs that are a little more open to everything else.
Right, like, it knew where I was at in the room. I had the shield, I had the sword. I don't know how PlayStation's VR is, because I guess it knows where your the controllers are, I guess. It knows where your controllers are, but your head stays still in the world. I don't know. I really need to try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I got gun shy, because I was like, there's a lot of other things I could put that towards, money wise. But oh man, it was hard. I knew for a fact I wasn't going to get Neo or anything like that. I knew I was going to get the VR headset over anything. So I don't know. Odds are it will come out. I will get, like, flustered and go out and buy it immediately the second I see it in a store. That's just what's going to happen. So it comes out next week?
Yeah, the 13th. Next Friday? No, Thursday. Next Thursday.
Oh man, yeah. So, well, you got a few days to decide to pull it or not.
Yeah, if I could, because like none of the, that's the thing that sucks about like living where I am. There's nothing like none of that stuff comes around here. The
Right.
closest Best Buy is like 15 miles, but even then, like it doesn't get any of that. It's like the AMC. The AMC, it's got it's got the IMAX and the whole deal, but it never gets any of the marathons or any of that stuff. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's anything like the Vive, then it's definitely worth it, especially because you already have the PlayStation. I mean, I can't imagine someone going out there and going, okay, I need to get a computer for a Vive and a Vive because you're spending $1,500 easy.
Oh, but at least.
Yeah, yeah, at least. So yeah, exactly. So the PlayStation VR seems like the way to go. I just, I mean, the Batman title looks cool, Star Wars, but when it says like 20 minutes of playtime, it's like that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Or what is it? 2 hours? I'm sorry, is
Two
the
two and a half, I
two
think.
and a half hours. I mean, that's cool, but you want, I imagine that one game where you're in that big thing running around. I forgot what it's called. Um, oh, you're in like a mech suit.
Oh, Riggs.
Rigs. That looks like it would be the one where you could sit and play for a few hours and keep going back to it, kind of like a Call of Duty or something. Um, and the Resident Evil. Yeah, I was just looking over the list and I was just like, do I really? Early adopters always get screwed. I don't know. I don't know. I was on the fence. Hey, but we'll see, man. We will see.
Yeah.
Um, we'll talk a little bit more about that one, I guess, when we get back into video games. But there's some big news right off the top. You go ahead and take it.
Yeah, Affleck decided to drop a little news about his upcoming Batman film,
Hmm.
and it's just going to be called The Batman.
Yep.
And I don't know. I thought that's cool. Like that's fine. That works.
Yeah, I
As
was never really a fan of the Batman. Whenever I heard it or saw it, it always sounded weird to me. Um, I mean, I get it. It's what like the thieves say. Or, oh, look, it's the Batman.
right.
It just always came off weird to me.
Yeah. I don't
But
know.
it makes sense for a title. They pretty much used almost everything else.
Yeah, like there really wasn't anywhere else they could go with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What if they called it like the Long Halloween or something? I'd be like, oh shit. But no. Yeah, exactly. Well, the Batman. That sounds right. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm excited for that. And we talked about last week about who was going to be in it and everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We covered that a little bit.
Gotcha. Go ahead and take the next one as well.
Yeah. Winston Duke from Person of Interest was cast as M'Baku in the Black Panther film, and he is kind of like a rival of sorts
Hmm.
for T'Challa. It's not a, at least the way that I remember it. Now this may have all changed. It's not, it's an adversarial kind of relationship, but it's not like hero villain kind of thing.
Right. And he was the one with like the big like silver gorilla like outfit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if memory serves.
Every picture that I saw him in when it was announced was that, and I remember seeing him in the comic a few times,
Yeah.
and that stood out. Um, so that's gonna be cool. Um, yeah. Let's see here. We got some Thor Ragnarok news. Sam Neill joins the film as an unannounced role. Of course, he's probably gonna be taking on dinosaurs. You think?
Yeah, right.
I hope. I just hope they just pulled that Grant character and put him in the film, and that's it.
Well, somebody has to wrangle that giant thing that was running around the Earth at the end of the Dark World. Like,
Exactly.
who better to be like, no, 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 it's headed this way. Like,
Oh yeah, man. It's I know we only seen him in what, two films. I wish he had his own Netflix series as Dr. Grant. I thought he was such a cool character. And I know Sam Neill's been known for a million other things, but I think he'll always be Grant in
it's
my eyes.
indelible. Yeah, it's just it's kind of like Jeff Goldblum in that he's always going to be that guy. Not just
Oh yeah.
Malcolm, but even his Independence Day character was kind of the same thing.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I saw that. I saw the newer one. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
Everyone was pretty much right. I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I was like, no, this is.
It's like a 6-year-old got a bunch of toys and like played with the toys and like that was it.
Yeah.
Like made up like, oh, and here's what happens next, and it's like, well, what happens in the and then it's like, well, what's next? Well, then they have to go fight the aliens in space, right? But we don't
Hmm.
have those toys. Oh yeah, the end. Like that was it was, and that's all it was. It was like all about merchandising. It was like we can sell so many toys based on this stuff,
Oh yeah.
and I mean, yeah, it was bad.
You know what's really weird?
What?
Um, and this total side topic here. This is how weird Google is. You know, we were talking about the Batman earlier, right? I went in Google, I searched the Batman to kind of see the picture or whatnot, and it knows my recent purchases on the PlayStation Network. How
Okay.
weird is that? It has
It,
a picture of me and it says Batman the Tall Tale series episode 1,
huh.
The Realm of Shadows. How and then I click on it and it says my order from September 22nd, 2016.
Well, if you buy it through the browser, then sure, why not?
I definitely did not buy it through the browser. That is weird.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
I don't even know what to think about that. How, is it a lot? Is it signed on to my Google account? What the hell is going? How does it know that? It's so weird. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll get back on topic.
Google knows everything.
Honestly, that is seriously creepy. That is honestly one of the creepiest things I've seen from Google. I mean, I have nothing to hide. I like Batman, but that's really weird. Oh, you know what? It's linked to my Gmail account. So every time I make a purchase, it sends me an email. So because I'm on Google and it's signed into my Google account, it's saying my recent purchases.
Oh, sure, there you go.
That's my rationale to that. Oh my god, that's weird. All right. So anyway, um, some Mark Miller news. I thought this was interesting. It's got to be Superior, right?
Yeah.
Did they officially announce it?
Well, I think that was the intent. Yeah.
Yeah, is that he requested the John Cena for the film based on the comic series. You know he's gonna take that. Of course he is.
Yeah, and now I preface this by saying I haven't seen Trainwreck, but I've heard about his apparently just
Oh,
tremendous performance.
oh yeah, he's just ridiculous.
But going by everything, like if that's not the kind of character he plays, then it's going to be awful. John can't act. His serious stuff is terrible, or his attempted serious stuff is just awful.
But I mean, I haven't read Superior, but if Superior, from what I understand, it's kind of like a serious take on like Shazam or Superman. And so if he is trying to be the blue-eyed Boy Scout, tough guy, doesn't do anything wrong, that kind of thing, Cena, that's what he is. He is the
And that's why
architect, or what do they call him?
the
What was his original gimmick?
the prototype.
The prototype. It's that's exactly what it is.
Right, and
Um,
that's why the crowd has started singing John Cena sucks at the beginning to go with his music. Like,
right, right. But I mean, he's been playing that role for how many years now? I could see it. I don't think he's that good of an actor, and I mean, I don't know if it's a comedic role, but yeah, man, Trainwreck. Like, go YouTube the scene where he's in the movie theater trying to insult the guy, and the guy can't tell if he's trying to hit on him or not. He's like, "What did you just ask me to do to you?" Like, it's ridiculous. His girlfriend's like, "What did you just say?" Like, I don't know. It's hilarious. Um, Man, he's funny in that, but yeah, I don't know. That's interesting, definitely interesting for Mark Miller.
yeah,
We got some Lion King news.
yeah, yeah, we do.
Yeah, John Favreau announced involvement in live action remake. So yeah, I mean we kind of talked about that. We knew that was somewhere down the line.
Right.
Um,
I still say it's not before 2020.
yeah, I mean I have no idea. Speaking of, though, we did hear that Disney announced a live-action remake of Mulan coming November 2nd, 2018, written by Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver, which is the Apes reboots in Jurassic World. So,
That's an interesting pair to be writing that script.
yeah, definitely, yeah. I just want the music in these movies.
Yeah, right. If they don't sing, who cares? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I saw a teaser trailer for Beauty and the Beast. They gotta sing. I want them to sing. If they don't sing, I'm gonna be really disappointed. Like
that
it's
was
such a cock tease going watching those. When I saw Jungle Book, I'm like, come on, sing the bare necessities. Don't just tease me. Um, they got to, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, like that's
what
look, that's
petition do we got to sign?
I yeah, right, there you go.
Yeah, just I mean, I mean, I'm sure they're already written and everything else, but um, I mean, I don't know what to say. Tweet them, let them know you want to hear the music in the movies. It's it's not that silly, you know. Like we already have talking animals, you know, at this point.
Right,
Uh,
they're part of it. That's the thing.
exactly.
These songs weren't just you know, this these movies are part musical.
Oh yeah,
And
no
that's
one's gonna go on the Lion King and gonna go, you know, oh man, that
well,
was really cringeworthy when
what
when the hyena started singing.
what
No, no one's gonna do that.
why
They're all
why
gonna wait for it.
right, why is this talking meerkat singing? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like did you hear the first part of that sentence? Like
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like it should happen.
uh
Definitely should have the singing. Same with Mulan too. Mulan's got some fantastic songs. So
there's if I'm sorry if it does not have the song, I don't want to hear it. I
oh yeah.
don't want anything to do with that movie. And I want I, my this was one of my favorite things that I ever saw on the internet was years ago when Disney was starting live action remakes. Somebody made a joke that when they make a live action Mulan, they want Eddie Murphy to play Mushu. But not to be like a CGI dragon, but just like Eddie Murphy in one of those long dragon costumes.
Oh wow, that would be great.
And I'm like, that's hysterical. I love it. That's brilliant.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
I mean, look, he did the Adventures of Pluto Nash. He clearly has no standards, so he'd do it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. Um, well, isn't your boy? He's gonna be in Mary Poppins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, they gotta just put him on these. He's gotta be on the Lion King. They gotta attach him to that somehow.
Yeah, right. Oh man, could you imagine Lin just doing like all of a sudden he's the new like oh what's his name? What's his name? Alan, is it Alan Menken?
I don't
Who
know.
used to do like a lot of it. Like he was attached to like all the Disney music.
Right, right, right. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Imagine
yeah,
imagine Lin being that for this like for like okay, well back then you had this and now you have this.
yeah.
That's oh
Absolutely.
man, that would be awesome. That would be great.
It would be good. It definitely would.
Because
Yeah, man.
he's doing music for Moana too.
Is he doing it for Milan as well?
For Moana for the new animated one.
Oh, Moana. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw him in like the Rocks thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I saw him in a few different things. Yeah, it was like his Instagram or something like that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, like he had a takeover for a day, I think.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Man, he's just the Rock's all over the place.
I is there. I'm telling you what, man.
Yeah, I think that guy does not sleep.
Well,
Let's see here.
when you're, like there is an undeniable charisma that he brings to whatever the role is.
Oh,
And I
absolutely.
mean, say what you will about Doom, but like he worked the hell out of that film.
That's true. That's absolutely true. When do you think we'll see him next in the ring? WrestleMania?
Man, I am okay with never. Um,
Well, you
you know,
know he is going to. I'm not.
I yeah, probably not until Mania though. Like
Yeah, he's got to
and
be way too busy until then.
yeah, and don't wrestle anymore, Rock. Don't
Well,
like
he
that.
doesn't really. He just comes out, he rock bottoms people, does the elbow, and says the catch line, and he goofs around with some people. He did that with the Wyatts one year. Did that with what New Day?
Well, I mean, he came out and grabbed one of the and grabbed was it Bray, I think,
Yeah.
and rock bottomed him, but it was like it was a match. That was
Oh, it
and
was a
that was
match.
yeah, and that was the match. Like it was impromptu. He was like, "Oh yeah, and by the way," and like tore off his tearaway sweatpants, and he was like, "I came to compete," and he rock bottomed Rowan, Eric Rowan, and
Right, right.
and then pinned him, and they made a whole big deal about that. And in 13 seconds, The Rock has beaten. And I was like, oh yeah, because the Wyatt family isn't buried enough. Thanks, Dwayne. Appreciate it.
Yep, pretty much.
Like,
Absolutely.
come out and do some promo work, and that's great, that's fine. But
Right.
I mean, they he screwed
Well,
CM Punk one year. Then I mean, just like after that, I was like, okay, just don't get in the don't wrestle anymore unless
right.
you're gonna commit to it.
I think what he did in San Francisco was pretty cool. He came
Yeah,
out with what's her name, and fought like Stephanie for a second, and then that was it.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. What other news we got? We got some Portal news. J.J. Abrams says announcement about film based on Valve's game is coming fairly soon. So we should hear something shortly about Portal. So that should be cool.
Probably next couple of weeks, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
They say something like fairly soon.
I never really played Portal. Played like a few little things, but I never actually played the game.
Play the second one. The second.
I don't know how though. I don't have a system that. I mean, I guess I can do it on the PC, right?
Yeah, PC, yeah.
Yeah. I need a new PC. This one's just acting up. I
Yeah.
definitely. I need to get a new one. There's just another thing.
And I'm sure Portal 2 is backwards compatible for Xbox One. Because it was
Okay.
or was it? Yeah, was it? No, it was a. Damn, because I can't remember if it was exclusive or not. It may have been exclusive on PlayStation.
I'll probably
Or
do it on on the computer. I need a new computer. That's by December I'll have a new computer. So saving up for that, which should be fun. I mean, I can't wait to. Thing is, I only play Warcraft on it, so all my friends play PlayStation. So I need to meet more people that play PC. So because I love PC games, I could sit and play Warcraft and have something on the TV. It's a lot less. I don't know. You don't have to pay 110% to those kind
right,
of games where you do with like first person shooters on PlayStation stuff. So
yeah,
I don't know. But then again, Battlefront and all that stuff would be. I'm much better on PC playing those than on console. So
there you go. And
I
yeah,
don't know. We'll see.
it wasn't an exclusive, so it is on everything.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's got to be backwards compatible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has to be one of those. So I mean, that's a way to do it.
That's true. That's true. Did you get the email from the creators of South Park
Oh, about the
with a
delay?
refund? Yeah, you can opt in to get your money back.
Yeah.
Or wait until March or something like that. So if there was something you wanted to, so if you pre-ordered the South Park whole, what is it?
The fractured butthole.
Fractured Butthole, yeah. Um, you can because it's now like 4 months delay now.
March 31st is
Oh,
the
it's almost
date,
like
yeah.
5. So they basically said, hey, you can opt into to get your refund and they refund your money, or you can wait it out. So if you're looking to get something this holiday and things are tight, there you go. But yeah, so we'll see. Can't wait for that game, man. The first one was freaking amazing.
Yeah, I went ahead and just said, nah, just I've already paid for it. Keep the money. Like
Right.
I've already committed to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Just figured I'd throw that out there in the ether in case anyone, was like, you know what, I love that game, but stuff's tight. You could just go. That's an option.
Yeah.
That's cool that they did that. I thought. But let's see here. What else we got? Power Rangers. Bill Hader cast as Alpha 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like,
I can totally see that.
sure, why not?
What is he? The I, right?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, we got some Hot Wheel news. Justin Lin to direct film based on tiny cars.
Yeah, because they said, hey, this guy's doing good on Fast and Furious. Let's have him do Hot Wheels.
I wonder if that is the the movie that Max Landis was talking about when he said Wheels.
Maybe.
Didn't he? Oh no, it was Cars.
Cars, yeah.
That's right, it was Cars. I wonder if that. Probably not. Um,
I don't know.
yeah.
Look. I think that's gonna wind up being like Need for Speed, where it's just like, oh hey, this is a thing that has to do with cars, so we're gonna make a movie about we're gonna make a Fast and Furious knockoff and then stick the name on it, basically.
What if, and I mean, this would actually make me a little bit more excited, is if they just said, fuck it, let's make a movie about racing, and it's these crazy tracks.
Dude, I'm all for it.
Like gravity defying tracks. That would be way more interesting. It'd be cheesy. People would make fun of it, but I'd much rather see that than a fucking lame ass whatever the hell you. What was the movie called again?
What, Need for Speed?
Need for Speed. That's right. That's right. I thought it had the Need for Speed one. That was terrible.
It was. It was awful.
Yeah. So I would much rather like them kind of dig into the.
I would love for them to be like, here's or just make it just stunt racing. I'm okay with that. Like, even if they're not, like, I'm okay with them going halfway on it.
Well, I mean, come on, let's be honest. That's what Fast and the Furious is. None of it's realistic.
Well, but I mean,
entertaining.
Yeah, true.
I mean, when they're jumping from, what was that? What was that one where they were on different sides of the highway and he jumps to catch her to land on the windshield?
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, this is superheroes. This is superheroes for car people.
Basically, but I mean that was more, oh hey, this is more about the action. Oh, and it happens to have cool cars. Like
right.
I wanted to be like, oh, and they do like stunt jumps with the cars and everything.
Right.
Like
yeah, that would be totally cool.
Yeah, like I'm all right. I would rather have that. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So if they do that, then I am on board. Drive through building, just like the last Fast and Furious. They flew from building to building. Just get weird.
Cars
with
can't
it.
fly, Dom. Cars can't fly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. What? We got a MacGruber sequel?
Man, screw this. So the guy who directed and wrote the MacGruber movie is vowing to unleash the plague of a sequel on the world because he hates humanity, apparently. This movie was awful. This was probably the second worst SNL skit to movie ever. And it's just because whichever the one is that I can't remember off the top of my head just set this ridiculous bar that should never be reached.
What's a good SNL one?
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Okay, I'll give you that one. What about Night at the Roxbury?
Yeah, fair enough.
It's watchable.
Yeah.
And then there was one that I just didn't like was when she was in like Catholic schoolgirl or something like that, or she was a nun.
Oh,
Superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was terrible. It had its moments with Will Ferrell and stuff, but. Speaking of these kind of movies, one that you should really watch, and I'm curious if you would like it, because I started watching it and I was like, this looks dumb as shit. 10 minutes into it, I'm like, I'm not feeling this at all. About halfway through the film, I was like, I don't know if this is the best thing I've seen all year, or if it's just really terrible. But Pop Star Never Stopping.
I hated that movie.
You hated it?
I absolutely hated it.
I thought it was hilarious. Once I got into it, I was like, "This is hysterical." It was just the way they riff on pop stars is so perfect.
It was like somebody said, "Hey, we need to make a less serious version of Walk Hard," and that was like, I get what they were going for. And I respect the angle that they took with it. But just like man.
Tim Meadows, when what's her face drops the N word and he goes, "Oh, you just said that. Okay,
yeah.
Like we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen." It's just like their comedic timing in that movie is just it's so good. I imagine that you either hate that movie or you love.
There's no gray area, that's for sure.
And I normally don't like those kind of films. I actually stay away from them because I don't like spoof type of films, but. Man, it's just like I said, the beginning of it I was like not feeling it, and then towards that I was like okay. But hey, we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get in more into movies. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. We'll see you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we're right in the middle of movie news. We got some John Wick news. Sequel gets a poster featuring Keanu Reeves in tailored suit. I didn't see this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just him in a really nice suit, and there's like some guy measuring him.
Oh, okay.
But hey, I'll take any news on this. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, he was really good
Yeah.
in the first one. Valiant, Sony changes release schedule. Will release Harbinger before Bloodshot.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on any news about this stuff other than, hey, we're making these movies eventually. Like,
Yeah, I mean, this we've heard of the same thing about what Uncharted for what how many years now?
right, and until they took it off the schedule.
Exactly. Firewatch, uh, good universe to produce film based on, or good universe to produce film based on Campo Santo video game. I have you played the game? You play
I
it, right?
I have not played Firewatch, but it does look really interesting.
Firewatch, if it's for $5, definitely get it. I think I bought it for 20. And I don't feel like I was gypped at all because I enjoyed it. I feel like I would have rather watched a 30-minute movie though, a little short. If like someone said, "Hey, here's this cool little thing you should watch. It's interesting," I would have watched it and been like, "Oh, that was interesting." Um, but $20 for the game, I felt, I don't know. You just play it. I know you're gonna play it, so I don't want to spoil anything. But by the end of it, I was just like, what did we accomplish?
Right. Yeah.
What did we? I don't know. It. I know it tried to give a message, and it tried to do this, it tried to do that, tried to make you all, it tried to make you feel things, and it did at some points. Like there was some interesting things, but when I looked back, I was just like, what was that? So I don't know. It's good though. So I could totally see it being a movie. Um, it would just, I mean, I don't know if I'd enjoy it because I know exactly what's going to happen, and once you know that, you're kind of like, okay. Um, all right, so yeah, we got Paramount studio delays Rings to February 3rd, 2017 on Friday the 13th to and Friday the 13th to October 13th, 2017. So by Rings, is that the
That's the it's the sequel slash prequel in the Ring series,
oh God.
because it's like, oh hey, they're calling it a prequel because it's based on the videotape as found on the internet, because as we all know, the internet predates VHS tapes. Um, like I don't know. I
See, I'm more excited about Friday the 13th. I don't know why, just because it has more.
Well,
I don't know.
it's been a while since the last one, and the last one was actually not bad.
I liked
It
it.
it wasn't tremendous, but it was like, oh okay, they're doing like it was kind of generic, but that wasn't awful.
I
Um,
feel like Friday the 13th is classic. Where I don't know if The Ring is ever going to be considered a classic.
no, I mean it'll have its following, but like that's the thing is like that's gonna always suffer from, oh well, the Japanese version's better.
I
Like
feel like Friday the 13th was a part of something that defined that genre.
yes,
Right. Um. And I don't think The Ring is anything like that. I mean, I even give Paranormal Activity more credit to defining a genre than The Ring, if that
well,
makes sense. Like the
be,
found footage, like that, and
well, but
and
that started with Blair Witch.
that's what I'm saying. That and Blair Witch. I'm not saying Friday the 13th is the only one. I mean Friday the 13th and like what Freddy defined that.
Well,
Just like I think.
yeah, like the slasher
Right.
film boom in the '80s. You know, you had,
Right.
it was Jason, Michael, and Freddy.
Right. Where I think the found footage is the Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch. Those are the two kings that defines that. Everything else has kind of tried to copy it and
Right.
failed.
Even though they were
Um,
like, the thing that cracks me up about that is like they're over a decade apart.
That's true. Yeah. You didn't see well after Blair Witch. You only saw a few things, but it's just nothing
it it
sat right until.
it really died off because even the sequel, when they did Book of Shadows, went to a standard, like it completely ditched the whole found footage thing, if I
But
remember
I
right.
liked that one because it kind of reminded me of like Scream because it was like who's doing this, you
Right.
know. If I remember it correctly, that's another one. Scream's another one. Scream is always going to be a classic to me.
Well, because that was the one that said, okay, all the stuff that came before was great, but man, did it overstay its welcome. So how can we lampoon all that while still paying homage to that, while still moving the genre forward?
Yeah.
And that was, boy, was that a tightrope to walk. And I think they killed it.
Scream's probably one of my favorite, if I have to say it. I mean, Friday the 13th just has a special place because I was a child when it
Yeah.
came out, so I was at the perfect age where that scared the shit out of me. Where my parents were like, "Oh, this is kind of fun, whatever." But me, I was like, I go camping with my parents all the time. That could happen. There could be a guy that with the machete could kill everybody and into our lives. So, but yeah, so that was scary. But Scream, I was at we were at the perfect age too. We were teenagers
Yeah.
when that came out, and it was we were just right there. Like, people talk about being the perfect age for Star Wars and stuff. I think we were perfect for Jurassic Park. We were perfect for the Disney boom. We were perfect for Scream. Like, we were just the perfect age for all those films.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. I definitely want to see a new Friday the 13th. Yeah, man, it's been years since that last one.
It's been what, 3 at least?
No, I thought it was much longer.
It could have been, yeah. Damn, you're right. It's got to have been 5,
2009.
7 years. Holy crap! And it'll be 8 by the time the new one rolls around. Wow.
Yeah, I don't even know what I was doing in 2009. Jesus.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Okay.
Because the game comes out supposedly this year. I think they're
Oh
shooting for.
yeah. Yeah, I saw people getting all upset about that, and I'm like, come on, it's like Mortal Kombat.
What?
The violence in it.
Oh yeah, big deal. It's supposed to be violent. Like it's a Friday the 13th game. The whole like half of the selling point is like, okay, on the one side you play as counselors running away from Jason.
Hmm.
Check. If he kills you, it's going to be nasty. Check.
Right.
Like that's what.
I think it's because it's campers, so people are like, it's where Mortal Kombat. It's like these crazy fighter things. So I mean, I get. Here's the thing: if it upsets you, the trailer, don't go play it at all. But if it's something you're into, it's there. Have fun.
Right.
What would be really cool is if it was VR. That
They've
would get weird.
they have discussed it.
That would be
I know
cool.
there have been because I follow a lot of the devs and everything from there because I was when I saw that on Kickstarter I was like, all right, I want in. And like I've seen a lot of the dev videos and everything, and there has been discussion of VR. They want to get it made and out first because this whole project started long before because it was what was it? It was just called Summer Camp when it started. And then they got the blessing to be like, no, you know what? Make it a Friday the 13th game. And they were like, okay, crap. So now we have to take this, what was going to be like this really, pun intended, campy kind of homage to Friday the 13th and actually make a good Friday the 13th game. And, this was all in the works and they were all pretty, like, this was far along and then they were like, oh, in VR. And they were like, oh yeah, that would have been cool if we'd known about that like 4 years ago.
Yeah, man. And we got some more news here. We got Tremors in the news. Michael Gross confirms Tremors 6, and he and Jamie Kennedy will star. Don Michael Paul to direct.
Yay, more Tremors.
I didn't know there were 6 of them.
Yeah, I love that like 5 was genuinely a return to form of like, oh hey, it is supposed to be kind of a horror film, but it's like mainly a comedy film.
Hmm.
It's like, hey, the characters are kind of kooky and the creatures look really weird, but there is a little bit of horror to it. And I like it. And they don't take it seriously. And you could tell, and I love that. They're like, look, this is the 5th Tremors movie. We know. Like
Yeah. Yeah, no, oh, Jamie Kennedy's in it. That's right. Okay. So yeah, I guess they were in the 5th one, both of them.
I think he was in the 5th one.
Yeah, it shows Jamie Kennedy and Michael Gross.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. It's been a while
I,
since I've seen it, and he doesn't look. Jamie doesn't look like he used to.
no, not at all. Looks completely different. Yep. So another Tremors movie. There you go. All right. Well, that's enough for the movie news. We're gonna move on to television. Um, we got some Stephen Amell news. He tweets pictures of himself and Supergirl in costume. 4-show crossover villain announced as the Dominators.
Yeah, they were an '80s alien race.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's a weird pull. Like I admit, I know nothing about these things.
It reminds me of the alien race from Marvel, but like what were they called? With
Which,
the teeth, the Brood, the
uh,
Brood
yeah,
from Marvel,
right, not Gangrel
not
and Fisk.
WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Brood. They look like insects with giant teeth.
Okay.
And when I googled the Dominators and I looked at DC Comics, they have giant teeth. I don't know, it just reminded me of it. But I guess there was also, I guess, a Doctor Who, the Dominators. I'm sure it was a wrestling group too, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Makes sense. I mean, it gets very timey-wimey and 4 show crossover. That's going to be one hell of a week.
Right.
Oh, that's going to be cool. And we got some Dark Tower news. TV series tie into the center around the fourth book, Wizard and Glass, will include Idris Elba and some form of narrator.
Yeah, because apparently this book is more like flashbacks and prequely.
Okay.
I know we haven't gotten that far yet,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
but
I mean, that makes sense. That's cool. I love that they're tying in with a book series to a movie. Like, that's just awesome.
right. And
Um,
if they were gonna do one as a TV series, this would be the one to do.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. So I'll be looking forward to that. Got some Iron Fist news. The next Marvel Netflix series to premiere on March 17th, 2017.
Yeah, that checks. It's about right.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't put that at the end of Luke Cage.
Oh, was there not a? Because I haven't gotten the whole way through yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it all yet?
No, I've got the first half. I got through the
Oh,
first
okay.
6. So
I was disappointed not seeing that because it was like with Jessica Jones, you saw Luke Cage.
right.
Daredevil, you saw like a hint at Jessica Jones, I think. Jessica Jones, you saw a hint at Daredevil too. So I just thought that was odd. Like, okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you should probably just stop where you're at with Luke Cage.
Really.
Yeah, I liked about the first half. I did not like the second half. We'll talk about that later. And I won't, of course, spoil anything, but I thought the first half was fantastic, and then it should have stopped there. It was just like Daredevil season 2, where they did the Punisher and then Elektra. But imagine if Elektra just doesn't hit at all. You're like, oh, God, we should probably just ended it with the Punisher. That's how I felt about this.
Huh.
Yeah, this the second part just didn't. I was like, oh no, it's getting weird.
Well, because I imagine
Yeah.
like the second part there's obviously the villain for the first part, but then the whole time you're like, oh, but he has a boss.
Right. Yeah, what happens after that is just it's all silly to me. It's not.
Huh.
I really liked what happened in the first part of the season. In the second part, I was just like, this is kind of. I was watching it, I was having fun, it was good. I like the setting, I like just the story, but it gets long in the tooth, very long in the tooth. Normally Netflix shows don't outstay their welcome. I mean, I felt kind of Jessica Jones. I thought could have been cleaned up by like 2 or 3 episodes. They could have done away with. I think Luke Cage would have been perfect at anywhere between 7 to 10 episodes, but there's like 3 or 4 between. I don't know, 7 and I don't know. It's a little too long, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, we'll get into all that later. The Punisher, speaking of, production begins on Marvel Netflix series. So I guess they started the production. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. There were some, I don't know, there set photos I think or something that were, I think they were leaked.
Cool. I want to check that out. Mystery Science Theater 3000 production begins on new season of Cult Show. So I bet you're excited.
I am super excited.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Now when's that supposed to come out?
Oh, I don't know if they have it's some point next year.
Some point
Like
next
I
year. There you
I
go.
I forget if they're shooting for I don't know. I just know they're like we're making it and it's coming to Netflix. I don't know. I want to say they're aiming for like summer of next year, but I may just be making that up. I don't know.
You were a backer, right? What are you gonna get for it?
Um, what do we get? Like the digital, we get like some kind of I forget exactly, but it's like digital. There's something. There's like a difference between the Netflix episodes and the digital download episodes, or maybe it's
Oh,
just that we get them to download. But there was some other stuff too. It was like that was like the base perk, and then it was like, and then moving on.
gotcha,
Because
gotcha.
they didn't have that deal with Netflix. It was going to be kind of like a VOD thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then they got the pickup with Netflix.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, hey, we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get more into some TV news. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. We'll see you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we got some more TV news. Got some strain news. Some strange, just kidding. No, some the strain news. FX announces show will end after season 4.
Yeah, because it's based on a 3-book series, and they kind of told the story like one book per season, and then Del Toro and whoever it is he's working with were like, you know what, we kind of need one more to really wrap this up.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. Hey, that's kind of perfect. Don't outdo your welcome. I never got into it. I watched the first few episodes and was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah, I was the same way. I was like, I don't know, like there's some cool stuff here, but like I don't know, it just didn't grab me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. What We Do in the Shadows TV series spinoff titled Paranormal Response Unit currently in development.
Yeah, okay, sure, why not?
If it has the same comedy, I'm totally in.
Right.
Give me The Office, but with that, I'm down.
Yeah, I wonder how it'll tie into the sequel that they're doing.
Well, I mean, I imagine we'll just see more than vampires. We're going to see a whole smorgasbord of weird things, and this is going to be the response unit. Like, think about it. Think about a paranormal response unit. Like, kind of, I'm thinking like like ER, like being sent out, and you're following them with the camera, and they're like, we're the only people that will deal with these kind of people.
Right.
We deal with the weird. We got to go, we got to go help. I don't know, a vampire because they have a cold or something. like like I just imagine them being sent out to do ridiculous stuff with paranormal people, and it's just a comedy. I totally want that. And you deal with the werewolves and the like. That's gonna be great. I think that's gonna be
In the
fantastic.
paranormal justice system, there are two.
Yeah, yeah. No, I see total normal. No, well, yeah. No, I see a total normal like gym character, like his first day on the job, and he's following a guy who's like, "Yep, I've been helping them out for years." It's gonna be great. Um, let's see here. We got the Purge deals currently in the works for a TV show based on the film franchise. Come on,
I I don't
Purge is outstayed its welcome with me,
I
honestly.
like the last one was good, and it was like and the end. Like
Yeah, it was.
I was good with 3 being I was good with election year just being like, and we're done.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't that how it ends? It's like, this is really bad. We should probably stop doing this.
Right. It's like, okay, the first one was kind of neat, and then the second one, I liked the second one more, and then the third one, they were like, okay, now let's finish off the story.
Right. I think they're gonna, if they do this, it would be like a prequel, and it'd be like the years before those, where like just bad shit happens and you tell different stories. I don't know. I don't like those movies. It's just you have to. I guess you have to be in some weird mindset to want to watch them. I'm never in that mindset though. I'm never like, let's watch The Purge. I don't know. It's just not.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But anyway, we got a Lost in Space reboot of the 1960s show, coming to Netflix in 2018.
Uh, yeah, because why not? Uh,
Yeah,
I
man,
just,
Netflix is killing it. Why not? I don't know.
yeah,
Exactly.
especially on Netflix. I'll give them that.
Yeah, dude. This is what I've learned this weekend. I've watched some crazy good things on Netflix that I didn't even know existed, and I was like, oh shit, that was really good. Um, uh, let's see here. We got Class, Doctor Who, um, spinoff to premiere on October 22nd. That was the one when they were in the class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the uh, forgot what it was called, but yeah, I remember talking about that before. This one was a little bit of sad news. I'm sorry, not anime. Adventure Time. Cartoon Network announces the show will end in 2018.
This is a sad bit of news for people who watch that show.
that's that I'm surprised they're honestly shutting it down. Because that show just it was such a cultural phenomenon. Like you can't go to a convention and someone not dressed up as Finn, you
True.
know, or any of the characters, like all the candy characters, the princess, uh, you know, Jake, um, like man, that was just it's crazy. I was watching a Let's Play of the guys at Kind of Funny do uh, the Lego Worlds. Oh man, it's a shame that you didn't jump on that one, the Lego one,
Yeah.
because he's playing Harry Potter in the Adventure Time world with the guys from the Goonies, with Snape and stuff, and then suddenly something pops up and it's the fantastical beast thing, and it says like it's unlocking in however like a month or so whenever their pack comes out, and I was just like, fuck, man, Logan would love this. You can play as Sonic, and like it is so balls out there, and every world feels unique. Like Adventure Time looks like a cartoon. You're in the cartoon Lego world, and then when they go into Harry Potter, it feels like Harry Potter. When they go into Sonic, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. Um, it was just funny. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, and it like Sonic made a joke. He was like, I remember that one time I went to go get the princess. Oh, wrong character.
Oh.
Like, it's just stupid. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so I don't know, man. When I saw that, I was like, man, Logan should have bet on that race.
yeah.
But
Yeah. I definitely picked the wrong horse there, but you
yeah,
know.
but you should probably saved a ton of money though, because holy shit, that's like $20 a pack.
Yeah. I would have fallen down that rabbit hole pretty hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
uh,
definitely, definitely. But yeah, man, it's a shame. Adventure Time. I've only seen like the first two or three seasons, and it I don't know why I just didn't keep up with it, but it's funny. That's one of those things like if I was sitting and it's raining outside and I don't want to play any video games and I turn on the TV and that's on Cartoon Network, I would sit and let that just let that play. Because it was good. It was good. That was something like kids could watch and adults could see too, and see the humor in it. Because it's cute. Um, Speaking of, we got Archer. Creator Adam Reed says season 10 will be the show's last, which is another surprising one. Like that one still kills it. Like
yeah.
people still love that.
Yeah. They finished. What was their last season? Season 7, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. See, it's not something I watch.
Yeah.
I watched a few episodes and I was like, oh, I get it. I get why people like this. Um, but yeah, it's a shame.
Meanwhile,
Um,
they're still making new episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants.
are you kidding me?
No.
I thought that's been done with.
No. No. God, no.
So like new episodes are
Oh
coming
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I feel like people only share stuff from so long ago.
Well, because that was back when people watched it. Like now, it's their kids that watched it, and I mean, like when people are like, "I grew up with this cartoon," like that's a cartoon you watch with your kids because it's still on. Like,
Jesus, I had no idea that was still
oh
running.
yeah, yeah, it's still actually doing new episodes. God, how long has that been?
That is absolutely crazy.
It's been what, 12 years at least? When was
It.
but yeah, I mean they've
I was in high school when that was on.
but I mean yeah, they do new episodes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's see.
Jesus.
Debuted. God, was
Oh
it
yeah.
99?
No
Good.
way.
Yeah. Yeah, way.
I was in middle school at that time.
1999. Holy crap. The show's been running for 17 years.
That's insane. See, see shows like that. I always thought were canceled after like 5 years, and then it just was like repeats, like Ren and
Yeah.
Stimpy and Rocko's Modern Life, and none of those had long, you know, they only lasted a few seasons, and then it was just on repeat.
Right, because they would play them forever.
Yeah, and I mean, I imagine that's what Adventure Time will be. They'll still play Adventure Time. That shit will be on. Will be playing forever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Same with Archer. I'm sure FX will keep that on somewhere on wherever they keep play The Simpsons, FXX or whatever it's called.
Right.
Um, which apparently they're doing like the whole marathon again.
Yeah, they're
And
they're they're
so
like, hey, we have to do The Simpsons again.
right? Like all day long. Hey, if you're a Simpsons fan, that's perfect. You just sit and watch Simpsons all day.
All right,
On
because
it, you know?
they're not stopping. Like it's not like, oh, some marathons are like, well, we're gonna do this, then we'll take a break. No, no, it's just every
Yeah,
single Simpsons episode,
yeah, exactly.
which is just
Oh yeah,
insanity.
yeah. Let's see. We got some MythBuster news. MythBusters: The Search. Nerdist personality Kyle Hill announced as host for upcoming Science Channel series.
Yeah, it's basically like, so you want to be the it's basically like America's Next Top Mythbusters. Basically,
What? So what happens when they find their MythBusters?
then they start a new Mythbusters show.
Okay, gotcha. So there you go.
Yeah.
So they're searching for a new MythBusters. That's interesting. Let's make a TV show out of out of an interview, and then
Well, because
we'll get money for it. It
well, I
makes
mean,
sense.
because it's like it's like an audition show. It's like The Voice for MythBusters.
Right, but
Which
I mean, there's the voice, but this show's going to end eventually. MythBusters: The Search, right? It's going to end once they get their hosts.
right, because then it just becomes what, like
Right.
MythBusters: The Next Generation or something.
Right. But the voice is going to just keep going because you can pump them into a business where this is going to be a season or two. Like this is going to be like where we find one or two hosts and then we're now the show. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Well, here you go.
Yeah, like like there wasn't a Pawn Stars, The Search, and then Pawn Stars. It was, it's just it happened. you know.
Well,
But
it's kind of just like having a planned spin-off, basically.
to me, it sounds like they were like, "Hey, we have to search the globe for somebody. Let's use cameras and make money off of it, and then we'll have our show, so it's double the profit."
And that's business. Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that's awesome. I've never seen that before, and that's cool.
yeah.
They're like, "Yep." So, I think we're running short on time though, so we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we will finish up TV and get into some video games. All right. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on N.FM. We'll see you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we got some more TV news left. We got Freeform. Network unveils 13 Days of Halloween schedule, beginning October 19th. So Freeform is what? It was ABC Family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got the 13 Days of Halloween
So
schedule.
this is where you get like Hocus Pocus and Nightmare Before Christmas and all that.
Yes. Definitely be checking it out when that hits. Hocus Pocus, one of the classics.
Yes, indeed.
Yep, absolutely. Do they have a list of what they're airing this year?
Yeah, they do. I just didn't really feel like typing all that out.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
They're doing Toy Story, Nights of Terror,
Yeah.
Pixar, Monsters, and for Christmas, the Hunger Games. Oh, I guess it's kind of scary. Pretty Little Liars, We Love You to Death, Freak Out, all new special. Melissa and Joey, all new Halloween special. Baby Daddy, all new Halloween special. Freak Out, all new special. Tim Burton's Corpse Bride, Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, Dark Shadows network television premiere. The Addams Family Values, Hocus Pocus, Paranorman. Oh, Paranorman. That's right. That's that movie.
Yeah.
Then Casper on the 27th, and then Freak Out the 28th. The 29th, The Addams Family Values on the 30th. Dark Shadows, 31st. Beetlejuice.
Oh, there's a good note to end on. I approve.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. All right. We got some more news here. We got AMC Network releases annual Fear Fest marathon schedule starting October 18th.
Yeah, and this is where, it's going to be like, on this day, we're going to do all the Halloween movies. On this day, we're doing some of, pick another franchise. Like,
oh, I imagine they're going to do Friday the 13th and stuff.
Yeah. But
Yep,
it's like
Halloween.
it's like every day is a different franchise. Pretty
Oh,
much.
there's a Resident Evil. Ugh.
Oh, no, pass.
There's a Tremors one, so I can get caught up.
There you go, see?
Amityville is always kind of interesting. Chucky double feature. Leprechaun. They don't have. Oh, Leprechaun 1 through 4, so the Hood one's there. That one is always funny.
Yeah.
Predator double feature. Okay. Well, there's like 4 of them. They only got, I guess, 2 of them. Oh no, there's three. Isn't
Three,
there?
yeah.
There's
Which
three.
which one are they not doing? Are they not doing the new one, or are they not doing Predator 2?
The new one.
Okay, fair enough.
I like Predator 2. I think Predator 2 is dope.
Predator 2 is definitely like an epitome of its time, for sure.
I love it. Oh man, it's the thing at the end. That tied it up where it was like that was one of the first times in film franchises where I was like, "Oh fuck, this is in the alien world."
Yeah.
My mind melted. I thought, "Holy shit, these worlds are connected." You only see that in comic books back then. You only saw that in like when Steve Urkel walked into the Full House set. Like that only happened in special things.
Right.
It was cool. And then I heard rumblings of a Terminator, getting in the same universe, and that never happened.
It did in the comics.
It did in the comics, it did in a video game, I think, and so like stuff like that was cool. But man, that would have been cool in the movies.
Could you just
Terminator
imagine?
versus Predator.
Right, Alien versus Predator versus Skynet, like
Yeah, it would have been really cool, man.
that would have been.
An all-out war.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the humans are just like, "Fuck, what do we
Yeah.
do?" Like, make that movie, somebody. Make a big epic war movie with those sides, those factions. Oh man, make a video game. Jesus, make an RTS out of that. That would be fucking awesome. Man, we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Right.
No, imagine an RTS like that, like a StarCraft. That'd be great. All right, yeah, Friday the 13th marathon, and then of course the Halloween marathon, which is Halloween 1 through 6, Halloween Resurrection, Halloween 2.
Really, they're not doing. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. They're skipping the first in Zombies Duo, but God, Halloween 2. I'm sorry, Halloween 2 was awful.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Oh, the like I enjoyed Zombies Remake. I'm not gonna argue which one was better because they're two completely different styles of horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the sequel was definitely like the studio said they're gonna make it with or
Mm-hmm.
without him, and he said, well, you know what, I might as well at least jump onto this.
Right.
And like it's just bad.
Yeah.
It's just a bad movie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's cool. That's awesome. All month long, you're gonna get some horror from AMC. They know how
Yep.
to do it. It's perfect. Um, real fast, we'll jump one. Speaking of AMC,
Oh yeah.
Frank, how do you pronounce it? Darabont?
Darabont. Yeah.
Darabont, yeah. Former Walking Dead showrunner updates lawsuit seeking $280 million in damages. What?
I don't know where that figure comes from.
Yeah, he sounds like Dr. Evil, just going, did I say a million? I meant a billion. Yeah. Where do you get that? What damages did it do?
I don't I I don't know how you put I don't
From
know
what I
how.
understand, he wanted out. So,
And then he was like, "Oh yeah, but I didn't like I wanted out for because they were awful and like I should have stayed, but it was bad and like I don't know. That whole thing is just a mess. It's
right,
just
and then it turned into a juggernaut.
yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, wait a second, can I hop back on that train?
Mhm.
I know, I'll sue." Man, watching The Mist, it's the Walking Dead prequel.
Yeah.
Like it is just, you can tell it got so much from him. Um, yeah, so who knows? We'll see. We'll pay attention, see what's going on with that. One show I do want to catch up on is Fear the Walking Dead because I heard the last episode was fucking nuts. That's what
Really?
everyone's Facebook post was, and I was like, "Whoa, people still watch this?" I dropped off when they were on the boat. I was like, not for
I
me."
never started this season. I never did.
Yeah, the first part is really rough. It's like, okay, they're out at sea. This is really boring, but it makes sense. It's like, yeah, that's what you would do. It's got pirates and stuff like that, so it seemed a little interesting, but I just had no urge to continue it. And then my buddy kept watching. He's like, it does suck for a lot of it, but he was like, right at the end though, it gets really good and it goes crazy. And I'm like, okay, well, I like crazy, so yeah.
Well,
So we'll see.
they're stuck on a boat. They're stuck on a farm. They're stuck in season 2. It seems like.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So we'll see. Yeah, I think they're like trying to go to Mexico or something like that. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, all right. So that does it for TV news. We'll get in some video game news. PlayStation Experience 2016 event to take place on December 3rd at 10 a.m. PST. So,
Yeah, that's the showcase. That's the conference part of it anyway.
now PlayStation Experience is going on tour, isn't it?
Well, because part of it is like the interactive. It's like their own private little E3 kind of thing. So I think
Oh, you know what it is? It's Road to Greatness. That's probably where I'll try the VR. I know it's coming to Orlando.
is it
Um, yeah, it's gonna be here the it's either the 15th or the 22nd. Um, yeah, so it's either next weekend or the weekend after that. I'm going to it. I know I got to get tickets, but yeah, you're gonna be able to like they're gonna show you video games and stuff like that. I'm meeting up with some of the people that are in the Kind of Funny Facebook group.
nice?
So yeah, should be fun. Meet up with some local people here that are all into the same thing, and I definitely want to try out VR for sure.
And it's not coming within like 100 miles of me.
Ah, that stinks. Yeah, it's only like certain cities. Yeah, I wish I knew the date. Um, hmm, well, let me see. Yes, okay.
Yeah, November 5th.
No.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I'm looking right at it, man.
Oh, why did you tell me a different date?
I don't know.
Hold on a second. Here, go ahead and take the next one while I pull this up.
Yeah, because we got the PS Plus free games announced this month. PS4, you get Transformers Devastation, which was I think Platinum Games worked on that, and it got decent reviews. And the HD version of the Resident Evil remake, which is good. And if you don't have it, now you can get it for free, which is great. PS3 people get Mad Riders and From Dust. Okay. And Vita people get Code, Realize, Guardian of Rebirth, and Actual Sunlight, which
Oh.
which just kind of sounds like a cruel joke. It's like if you have a Vita, you now get Actual Sunlight. It's like oh, that's
Yeah.
just mean. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a great lineup. By the way, okay, so I guess I was invited to something called Orlando IX16,
okay,
which is showcasing digital's leading creators held on October 14th through the 16th, 2016, Orlando, Florida. It looks like they have like a bunch of games and it looks very game centric. So that should be cool. I don't know.
nice.
Yeah, I guess I was invited to that. So Full Sail, I guess, is going to be there. Nintendo, um, a bunch of other companies. Digital Brew. Yeah, it looks like a lot of indie companies.
Very
Um,
cool.
so yeah, that should be cool. That's what I was invited to. Okay, so I guess I'm going to that and whatever is in November. So there we go. But yeah, man, that lineup, I thought Resident Evil was pretty cool, and Transformers I didn't play. I thought about buying it, but hey, free Transformer game.
Yeah, and I heard like I've heard decent things about it.
Yeah, I heard
And
it was pretty good. It's a fighter, and the Transformers look like what it did back in the day. So
right, well, because I mean it's animated. Like it's not
right.
like oh it's not like the Cybertron series where it was like updated. It's like no it's cartoony.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
plus.
Yep. And Resident Evil HD, I never picked it up, so that would be cool.
Oh, there you go then.
Yep. 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 Let's see here.
And I didn't
Beyond.
sorry, I didn't see an updated list of the Xbox games for gold, but
Okay.
I do know one of them is what is it? ATV Motocross Reflex or whatever. I think is the backwards compatible one. And Assassin's Creed China
Hmm.
is one of the Xbox One games, and I cannot remember what the other one is.
Okay.
It's
Hmm.
I don't know. It was something. It was something weird. It was like, oh, that's Something I've never heard of. Okay, that's different.
Yeah, The Escapist.
Sure.
Um, I think it says. Um, yeah, Mega October 1st through the 31st is Mega Baseball, and then the 16th through November 15th is The Escapist.
Yeah, Mega Baseball was it.
Yep.
Because I looked at that and I was like, wow, it looks like a cartoon version of NFL Blitz, but with baseball.
Yeah. Yep. Hey man, some months PlayStation shits the bed, some months Xbox does. PlayStation I thought was a little weak last month. This month looks pretty good. Resident Evil, can't complain.
Yeah.
And a Transformers fighting game, like for free games, or I mean, it's awesome. You can't beat that. Let's see, we got Beyond Good and Evil 2. The game that just doesn't seem like it's ever going to come out. Ubisoft and designer Michael Ancel released artwork teasing sequel to PS2 Classic.
Yeah, they just posted that image and like kind of broke the video game side of the internet for a little while.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I don't know. I never played the first one, so I don't have any.
it was a freebie on it was a free game for gold a couple months ago
For what system?
for Xbox. It was
Oh, Xbox.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I This is another one of those like I'll believe it when I see it.
Yep. Well, there you go. We got Nidhogg 2 sequel coming 2017 to PC. Console release possible. It's gonna come to console. The PlayStation one's fun. Have you ever played it?
I bought it. Yeah.
Yeah, Nidhogg is great.
It's a fun little like it's kind of like Joust with a purpose. Like
This is the game that I play. Like I'm gonna have people over in a few weeks. And like they're gonna be spending the night, and it's gonna be like 4 or 5 people, and this is the game where everyone kind of wakes up hungover. I turn on the PlayStation, and this is what I let them play, and they just have fun.
yeah.
This and like sports with friends, where they have like the big jousting thing, and it's just wacky. Like this is the game where I remember putting this on to people who never play video games, and the two girls just went back and forth, just like, nope, nope, I'm gonna get to the, because it's so simple. You're just hitting the button, jumping over them, and trying to run away. Um, it's one of those perfect kind of games that you can put on and just have fun with somebody for just a few minutes. You don't have to sit there and go, well, okay, so here's the deal. The setting is like you don't have to figure any of that out. It's just like, here, have fun. It's one of those
Right.
perfect games. What's up?
No, sorry, I was saying right.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you were going in and out there. I apologize.
Yep, slight little
Um,
audio blip, but we're good.
yeah, yeah, no problem, no problem. But yeah, man, that's one of those games you just put on and have fun with. Um, uh, I also have I want to pull out the because I have like the board game package or whatever it's called. Like Simon Knows Best or whatever the PlayStation one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I have those, and I was told by everyone, like, get that. That is great for, same situation I was talking about, where you're just kind of sitting around, you know, just hanging out with some friends. That to pop that in with people who don't play games, um, and it's a ton of fun. Apparently, like, you type in, you go to a website on your cell phone, and you put in the answers, and it has like a little. If you have a touchscreen phone, you just tap A, B, C, or D, or whatever. You don't have to have a controller.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and everyone gets to play, and I bought it was like two board game packages when they were on sale for like $12 total for all of them, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I feel like I got a really good deal, so I can't wait to start that. We got some news on Yooka-Laylee, Shovel Knight to appear in the upcoming game.
Yeah, they were like, hey, and by the way, guess who's going to be an NPC? It's like, sure, why not? He's in everything. Like,
Yeah, I'm surprised they got that, but that's awesome. Hell yeah, he's everywhere. He's even a little amiibo.
yeah, right?
Yeah, so that's cool. You played Shovel Knight before, right?
I did, yes.
Oh, okay. Did you play it on the PlayStation or did you play it on the 3DS?
PlayStation.
That's a game I think I own on PlayStation, 3DS, Vita, and PC. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I really liked it. I played it on the 3DS when I had my 3DS. Still have it, of course. But I remember when it came out on the Vita and the PlayStation 4, and it came together, and I was like, I gotta get that. Um, and so yeah, I don't know. I love that game. It's so much fun.
Nice.
Uh, um, let's see. We got some. Let's get into some comic news here. DC Comics company teaming with Boom Studios for Planet of the Apes Green Lantern crossover in 2017.
Sure, why not?
That sounds like a ton of fun. I will buy that. Probably buy it whenever it comes out in uh, trade.
Yeah.
Um, that sounds like something I'd like to sit down and just kind of blow through, and read from front to back. But yeah, that sounds like a ton of fun. That's awesome. Um, Wildstorm, DC is reviving Imprint, to be curated, by Warren Ellis, uh, to debut February 2017 with main monthly series The Wildstorm. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
definitely.
because I know I know they tried a Stormwatch series and I don't think it did that well with the New 52.
So is it? Well, here's the thing. They put Wildstorm in DC Comics,
Right.
but so they're now taking it out
I that's what it sounds like.
because didn't they? Like I remember a lot of the characters being gelled into it.
Yeah, like they did like after they bought Wildstorm, like it was a strange kind of like some of the books stayed separate, but like eventually they all became absorbed into the DCU.
Right.
And you got to see, like the Grifter and all that stuff.
That's the one
But
that stood out because he was in the um
he was in Flashpoint a lot.
Flashpoint. Yeah.
Yeah. And but and then you got Stormwatch as part of the New 52 and everything,
Hmm.
and but then they were like, you know what, this isn't working, and so
Yeah.
now they're gonna spin it off as its own imprint, which I think is a smart play.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, that's cool. Um, awesome. We
Yeah.
got You go ahead and take the next one here.
Yeah. So Rick Riordan, who's written the Percy Jackson series and a whole bunch of other stuff,
Hmm.
there because now he's doing 2 books a year instead of just the one. He's doing one still grounded in like the Greco-Roman myths, and now he's doing one for Norse myths. And they've been doing so well that Disney is saying, "Look, we're not going to have you under Hyperion Publishing anymore. We're going to have your own kind of like offshoot publishing brand,
Oh
and
wow.
it's going to be it's kind of like he's getting his own imprint in a sense himself, because he's still going to do his two, and then other authors are going to come in and do, like, oh, I want to do a book based on Mayan mythology. I want to do a book based on Japanese mythology. Okay, well then they're all going to be under this imprint kind of thing.
Ooh, Japanese would be cool.
I would love to see them tackle like some of the more, because there's a depth to a lot of these. I mean, you
Hmm.
have like a lot of the Polynesian stuff, Mesoamerican, even Native American mythology.
Definitely.
Like
Absolutely.
there is just an absolute wealth of untapped material out there, and I think this is a great way to do it.
Yeah. That would be awesome. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. That's cool. Man, he pumps out 2 books a year. Look at Patrick Rothfuss and freaking George R. R. Martin can't. Like, how many years later are we gonna get one?
Eh,
Oh,
different writers write at different paces.
no, I know. I'm not complaining. It's just, oh, come on now. It's so long. I'm actually going through uh the oh man, why did my mind just
you're,
go
you're
blank?
going you're going through the whole Song of Ice and Fire series, aren't you?
No, 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 no,
Oh
no,
no,
no, no, no, no, no. Yeah, that seems like too much.
it's they're dense, man. They are dense.
Yeah. No, uh right now I went through Name of the Wind. I'm going through The Wise Man's Fear.
There you go.
Uh Yeah, just started it last night. So, it's been a while since I remember reading it.
Wise
Um,
Man's Fear is still my favorite audiobook ever.
yeah,
It's fantastic.
yep, absolutely. Man, I just when's that sequel gonna come? But anyway, uh, yeah, we got some reviews here. So where do we want to start, man?
Well, we kind of went through Luke Cage already.
Okay, so yeah, what episode did you get to?
6. I got done with 6.
Okay, seven's good. Seven's a great episode. Um, yeah, man. I thought the first, yeah, I love it. The beginning of it, especially just getting to know that world and getting to know those characters, and I love that it's its own little section of New York City. It feels so much different than, of course, um, uh, the Hell's Kitchen. Just totally different vibe, totally different people. Um, I thought it was great. For that part, I kind of wish. I think we got spoiled with Jessica Jones, where Luke Cage comes in and they team up and they're kicking ass. And then we get spoiled even more with Daredevil, with Elektra and the Punisher. And where Luke Cage, it's like I want those people, like I want extra people to come in and, you know, team up a little bit. And
Yeah.
it wasn't like that. Not to say characters don't come in, but it's not the same, if that makes sense. I thought that kind of stunk, you know. And I don't know. I just wanted a little bit more, if that makes sense. And I just thought going into the second part of it, and you'll see it. I mean, you'll see. I think you'll see what I'm talking about, where it's like, okay, I thought the first half was super strong, and then the second part was like, maybe we didn't need that. It felt like they already told their story, and now they're just giving you more.
Right. Yeah. I
Yeah.
can I can I
Yeah.
can see how that would be like I can see where going forward it's like, oh, you lose a little bit of that personalness to it.
Right.
Because
Right. Yeah.
that first half is all personal.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It's just I don't. It's not going to spoil it. You know, certain characters are not going to be in there, right?
Right.
Right. I wish that they were. I thought it would have been a perfect way to introduce certain characters to in the second part of the season, and then of course they can go on and be in their own show later on. But it would have helped, I think, tremendously to ignite a little bit more of a fire, just like how Daredevil did when the Punisher story was over. There was Elektra, and it was like, okay, I'm getting a second wind. I felt like, whew, we just had such a great first part of this season. Where's my second win? And it never came.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm probably looking into it too much, but I definitely loved it. It's fantastic. Everyone should go out and watch it, of course. It
Apparently
was
everyone
just,
did.
yeah, it crashed in the middle of me watching it. I was like, did my Netflix account break, or every other website's working but Netflix?
Yeah, it turns out they broke Netflix in parts of the U.S., UK, and Ireland.
Yeah, man, it was a good show. It's definitely a must watch if you have Netflix. Here, real fast, I want to talk about. Well, we only have a few minutes for this one, and I kind of wanted to talk about like three or four things at once. Uh, what's real fast that we could talk about?
We can talk about Interrogation real fast.
Okay, what's that?
Interrogation is a film about it's you have the FBI who catches this criminal and he has this elaborate plan all over. I forget what city they're in. Uh, and so you have the hero FBI guy Edge because this is a WWE Studios film.
Oh,
Uh, and his team who's composed of like two people I don't know and Lana who sans accent. And I'll say this: for a WWE Studios film, it's not bad,
well, there you go.
and that's like some really high praise, really, because
We'll
they're
put that on the back of the DVD.
yeah,
It's
right.
not bad.
Like if you were to just watch it, like if you didn't know for some reason that this was a WWE Studios film, you would look at it, you'd be like, well, that wasn't really great. Like it's not terrible, but it's completely forgettable, but it's not awful.
When
But
I see those kind of movies, to me it looks like, is that a TV show on USA or like a made-for-TV movie on USA? They always look like that to me.
exactly. That's the absolute best way to put it.
Yeah, it does. It's like, is that like a Flashpoint TV show? Like, what is
Right.
that? It's just always the back of my head. What is it? And that's what it looked like. So, okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. Hey, it's not that for the WWE. It's not that bad, and that can't
Yeah.
be a bad thing.
And
So,
it's you look at it and as you're watching it, you're like, "Oh, okay. I can see exactly where this is going." But it's still kind of a fun ride.
right.
So it's not, I mean, it's definitely a 5 out of 10, but like for a WWE Studios film, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely. What else? What other movies do they have cooking up?
Oh my God, I don't know. Uh, I, I don't pay any attention because they do so many that I don't care about.
Marine 5,
Yeah.
2017, and Surf's Up 2, Wave Mania.
Oh my God, they're doing a sequel to Surf's Up.
I never
Why?
saw the first one.
Why? Like the first one was like, oh hey, we're trying to do like the cash in on animated stuff like Happy Feet, and so we're doing Surf's Up.
Oh yeah, I did. I saw that one.
Yeah.
This one is completely WWE. Like, it has Vince McMahon in it. It has Triple H. It has The Undertaker. It has Paige. It has John Cena.
Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah. If you go look at the cast, it's Paul Levitt, it's Mark Calloway, it's Sarah Jade Beavis, it's Vince McMahon.
And
But yeah,
not to this of course notwithstanding all of their Scooby Doo movies that they're doing.
yep, yep.
Uh,
Hey man, Surf's Up 2 might be good. Kids might love that.
yeah,
That might
sure.
be actually where they make a lot more money because to the naked eye, Surf's Up 2, I wouldn't know its wrestlers. Well, I guess I would. That's the Undertaker as a as a penguin.
Right.
Like,
Well,
he straight up has an Undertaker hat on.
when you have a franchise with that kind of pedigree, how can you go wrong?
There you go. I mean, the Triple H. Oh God, go look at the IMDb. It's so ridiculous. Oh
Uh,
man. All right. You're listening to We Geek podcast on the N.FM. We're gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back, and we'll talk more about reviews. Welcome back to We Geek podcast on the N.FM, and I guess I'll get into the other things I watched on Netflix this weekend. After Luke Cage, I was a little disappointed by the end of it. I was like, okay, I need something to wet my palate, or not wet, sorry, clear my palate. Something just different. And so I started watching documentaries, and I went down that rabbit hole. I started with one called Audrey and Daisy. Have you heard of this?
I've heard of it, but refresh my memory.
Well, it's a very serious subject. It's basically about the rape of these two girls. One was 15, one was 14. And after the assaults, basically the families of these girls were just subjected to abuse and cyberbullying to the point where actually one of them committed suicide. Um, and so you kind of hear her story, what happened at that party, how it all went down, and then you hear the story of the other girl and more details, of course, because then there's a court case, and I mean it goes deep. In one of them, basically one of the boys, and of course the kids who did the raping were all star athletes, so they all got a slap on the wrist. One of them was the son of a state representative, a grandson, and so of course it's just infuriating. Like they're the video of what they did, they recorded it somehow in police when the police sent it off to have it analyzed and all this other stuff. The video disappeared. Stuff like that,
Eh,
just infuriating incompetence to such a degree, and and you see how the town reacted and their hashtags and what they said online about them, how they were just trying to ruin the football team and the basketball team. It is absolutely terrible, but at the same time, it's something that I think everyone should watch, especially kids in high school, because I think we had it different back in the day where the bullying, and not just bullying, but like everything that all the drama that happened to school was left there, and you were able to go home, you were able to decompress, you're able to kind of live your life for a little bit, and then go back to school and then deal with whatever drama and BS that was there. But at least you had a little bit of a break. I know we had AOL and Messenger and stuff, but not like it is today, where it was just it's 24/7 with Facebook, you know.
Yeah.
And it is a really sad documentary, but it definitely, um, God, like it's definitely a warning for people to just be careful. Like just people are assholes, and that's basically, I don't know, but that was one of them. And then I started watching Amanda Knox.
Oh, how is it?
It was really good. She opens it up saying like, I'm either the scariest person on the planet, a psychopath or whatever, or I'm you. I'm one or the other. I'm either someone who was crazy and murdered someone and got away with it, or I'm you. I'm someone who fucked up and got in a very shitty situation. And she was in jail for like 4 years. And if you're not aware of the Amanda Knox story, she was a student. She was an American who went overseas. She was in her early 20s. She must have been like 20 years old. She met a guy, and like literally a day or two or five, maybe the same week, her roommate ended up murdered in her apartment. And it looks like a break-in, and the DNA is all over the place. The investigation is totally botched. Like they don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. And it was, I mean, if you've been around in the world the last, however many years it's been, since 2007,
Yeah.
uh, you've heard of this story, or maybe you just heard it in the news. Maybe you just don't watch the news that much, but it's the entire story told by not only Amanda Knox but by the investigators and everyone around the situation. So it does make you swing back and forth. Did she do it? Did she not do it? Could she have done it? Why did she lie about this? But then on the other hand, there's the DNA evidence is just this went to the Supreme Court in Italy.
Yeah.
And they felt embarrassed too, because they were like, Americans, what do they know? I think one of the investigator goes, they were drawing buffaloes in caverns while we were having democracy, or whatever they were saying. And I was just like, oh, what a fucking jerk. Like they felt insulted. But when it goes to a different court and they're like, no, we plead to have someone else outside of this city investigate what they've done, and they're like, oh, well, they fucked up everything. Like they're just walking in the house willy-nilly, not changing their DNA stuff. Like they're finding stuff from 90 days later saying, well, it's evidence. And it is, I don't know, it's an interesting documentary. And I mean, this is spoiler alert, she was acquitted, her and her boyfriend at that time. So she lives in Seattle now. And how do you live a life when everyone thinks you're a crazy person? Everyone thinks you're a psycho. Not everyone, but you know what I mean. Like there's that stigma now for the rest of your life. And you were in prison in Italy for 4 years. It's crazy, but it's a good documentary. Two other ones I watched, and these ones weren't as compelling as the last two. Holy Hell. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I haven't.
Holy Hell. The inside look at a West Hollywood cult formed by a charismatic teacher in the 1980s that eventually imploded. It's still around to this day. Like the documentary basically the documentary is about a guy who got into it, and he tries to tell you the tale of how he somehow got sucked into a cult, when everyone there, the whole point of it was they called it an anti-cult. But yet you slowly realize it gets into, what are all cults about? It's about power. It's about a narcissist, and you end up finding out that it's about the cult leader wanting to fuck young boys, pretty much. It's terrible. It's disgusting, but it's this interesting look into how a normal person could get sucked into that world. And it's called Holy Hell. So I've always thought cults are weird. Like, how could someone get sucked into that? This is a documentary following the people, because the guy who's narrating, the guy who created it, won Sundance, is the guy who was kind of the cameraman for the cult. He was the guy who did the films and made the propaganda. And you slowly see them And then he interviews all of the people he knew from it who are now out of it and they have lives. And obviously, a lot of them, especially the males, feel that their masculinity was taken from them and stuff like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like their innocence, of course. And oh, it's just it's interesting. That's another one. And then for the last one that I saw, was called "I'll Sleep When I Die." I'm Sleep When I'm Dead. And it's a documentary about Steve Aoki. Now, I know if you're not into Steve Aoki or EDM music, you're probably going, I don't want to know anything about that. This was super fucking interesting. He has the world's records for the most tours, for the most traveled musician on the planet. I think he did 300 shows last year. He averages 300 shows a year, which is insane.
And not just like stateside, but globally.
Oh, globally, you get into his family history. His father was the guy who created Benihana, so you get into that territory where him and his dad had a really weird relationship, a bad one. You know, he still doesn't have and the thing is, he never got famous for his father. He never had a dime. His father's money he doesn't touch until he's 45 years old so he's got like 5 years until he even sees a dime of his family's inheritance. He did everything himself. He started in the LA scene. He got a loan because he met the guys from Good Charlotte. Like it's a weird, crazy, and Hyde from the '70s show. Yeah, no joke. No, like it is the craziest, weirdest story of how he went from not knowing what he wanted to do with his life. He was picked on in high school. You know, they called him all sorts of names and stuff like that, and he didn't know what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a musician. He was into screamo, but he's just suddenly getting into the LA scene with the DJs and stuff, and his work ethic. He says he takes a lot from the Japanese and his family, and you can tell obviously with that many shows, that much to plan out, that much to do. The man doesn't stop, and of course he gets into the talking about one of his best friend. His name was DJ AM, Adam Goldberg,
Yeah.
died of an overdose, and he quit drinking after that. He's completely sober. He's straight edge, and it goes down that path. And it's a really interesting documentary, and that's one of those where even if you're not into it, it's a really cool thing to watch because you're just like, oh wow, and it's not even about the festivals and stuff that he does. It's just his story and his life, and I thought it was really cool. So, yeah, man. Yeah, so after Luke Cage, you have a lot of stuff you can watch. Those are also super interesting. I spent like a day or two just like, this is really interesting. I want to watch another one. I just kind of jumped from documentary to documentary.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
I did a couple Netflix originals while I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
at it. I did sticking with documentaries. I did what was it? Winter on Fire.
Oh, what's that about?
That was the revolution in the Ukraine a couple of years
Oh,
ago,
I gotta write that down.
and it's you know it's filmed as it happens, and for most of it, it's okay. There was a protest, and the police, first of all they just corralled people, and then they just beat people, and then the people basically just kind of took over a town, and they were like, okay, well, what do we do for 3 months? And
Oh
they
wow.
like organized, and they made it like this little community. It was great. And then when it all went downhill, man, it went fast.
Oh wow.
And it became, it was like, okay, now we're going to march on the Capitol building, and the police decided we're not going to use rubber bullets anymore. And
Oh,
it's tough to watch.
and it's called Winter on Fire.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was called.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check that out. I know they got some other ones. I know they have What Happened, Miss Simone. Um, they have one called like Hot Girls Wanted, which is about like getting into the porn industry. Tony Robbins apparently has a good one on there called like I Am Not Your Guru.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, it's just Netflix just like
That
constantly popping out good stuff.
they have so many documentaries and so many good documentaries. Like the best ones are, they have like a whole library of documentaries, but the best ones are like the made by Netflix documentaries, or at least the sold to Netflix documentaries.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Now we didn't talk about it because we weren't in last week. Did you see the trailer for The Crown?
I did. That looks good.
Yes, yes. I see. Oh man, that's what I want to see. I was talking about a while ago. Like I love period pieces. Um, and that period, like I don't know that much about the Queen. Honestly, I don't know much about her history. It's just not anything I was ever interested in. I only know like the Princess Diane type stuff, that kind of stuff. But I don't know her. So like, I am so wanting to watch that.
Right, and you
Um,
figure she's been queen for what, 60 some years, 70 some years?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
Like
it's
I loved in the
crazy.
trailer. She was like, just Elizabeth. And I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and like how, uh, I guess Queen George, like, this is your job. Your job is to please her and to be her husband now. Um, I thought that was like, I don't know. When I saw the trailer, I was like, and this all was around the same time when I saw Luke Cage, saw the documentary, saw that, and I was like, man, I honestly think Netflix has surpassed HBO tenfold. And now HBO definitely has some great stuff, but not to this caliber, I don't think. At the
It,
moment, I mean, over time, yes, HBO has some The Wire and everything else and
right.
Sopranos, but I mean, at the moment, like going on at the same time,
They
I've never seen a network do this.
fair enough. That's fair enough.
That's what I mean. I mean, overall, HBO, yes. I mean, they changed everything. They changed the game entirely, and their library is just enormous. But I mean, going on at the same time, all of these Marvel shows, all of these documentaries, all of these original movies, all of these original shows. I don't think I've ever seen anything on this level. Um, it's insane. It's literally I've never seen anything like this. Um, but don't get me wrong, HBO, like we'll get into it. Not we don't have that much time in this segment, but we definitely want to talk about Westworld. Or do we? Do you want to talk about it real fast?
Uh, I'll go. Let me go ahead and talk about the other Netflix thing that I saw real quick.
Okay.
So it'll only take a minute. It was called Arc, ARQ,
ARQ.
and
Okay.
it's Robbie Amell and some people who I don't remember. And it's like if you took Groundhog Day and Looper and like all that kind of repetitive time travel dystopian stuff and you threw it all in a blender. It's
Hmm.
interesting. And it's not just because he's like, "Oh, I'm living the same day over and over again." The subtle changes are really neat. And of course the biggest change, and it's not a huge spoiler because it happens like 10 minutes in, is, it's because it starts when he wakes up and then it goes for a few hours and then, oh, he wakes up again. And then you come to a point not too long in the movie where he wakes up and he's like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" He's trying to figure it out.
Right.
And then the girl he's with wakes up in the same manner
Mm.
because now all of a sudden she starts remembering.
Oh wow.
And so it kind of adds in that extra layer. And there are a couple ends in there that are either like they were like, oh, they did this for I don't know why, but overall, I was like, well, that was, it's like 80 minutes, and it's an interesting little, like, set in an apartment.
Hmm.
It's got kind of a dread feel to it in that sense.
Oh cool.
But it's not, if you've got an hour and a half to kill, make a
Yeah.
sandwich and then watch this, and you're all set.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, man, their like studio made movies don't feel like TV movies. They feel like actual, like that could have came out in the theater and now it's on DVD.
Right.
Yeah, so that's, man. But hey, we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get into the Flash, WWE, Westworld. We'll be back. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you guys in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and let's just jump into it, man. What'd you think of Westworld?
It was interesting. Um, it wasn't what I was expecting.
Really?
I don't know what I was expecting from the trailer, but like that wasn't. I don't know. Like that was not what I was anticipating.
Yeah, I don't know what I was gonna expect, but what I got, dude, I have not been this more interested in a pilot and a show since Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
And I know that's cliche to say.
but it's
Um,
fascinating. It really
it
is.
It really is. My new favorite show since before I saw this was Atlanta. I think Atlanta's fantastic. Shout out to Atlanta. Go watch Atlanta, people. Jesus Christ, go watch it now. But Westworld, it is it is Jurassic Park with androids. It is this amusement park with these robot things, but they're not really robots. They're literally created. And what's crazy is they're created by robots, but these mad scientists have created these androids in a world, and people go and pay money to kind of live out whatever, to fuck them, to shoot them, to kill them, and you know, and some things are going wrong. I mean, did you get that vibe? It felt like Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah. Oh, instantly. As soon as they're like, okay, we've created this thing. Oh, and here's a problem. It's like that was exactly my first thought. Was like, damn it,
Yeah.
Nedry, what did you do now? Like,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And the talent in it is so good. I don't know the actor's name off the top of my head. Um, like who's the main doctor?
I should know, but I don't.
I don't either. Of course, it's got Anthony Hopkins. Um, Jeffrey Wright. That's it.
Thank you.
Uh, Fantastic actor. He's just he's just the scientist who's like knows everything but obviously doesn't. And I loved it. And this gets a little bit of spoiler territory, so heads up if you haven't seen Westworld, just ignore the next few minutes. And it's not that big of a spoiler, but towards the end when the dad android, that was my favorite part of the whole episode.
Yeah.
And that acting in those few minutes, and how he was like, this is totally off script. We are beyond a glitch here. We are, what do you say? We are miles beyond a glitch.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. I can't wait to see more. I can't wait to find out what happens. I want to know who that black guy, the guy all in black, what's his deal, dude. It's so interesting to me. I want to see the next episode now. Like I went to try to talk to people about it, and no one saw it. I hate when these shows starts. I feel like me and you are right there. We're
Yeah.
in on it, ground floor. Everyone else waits a fucking year, and then suddenly they're obsessed with it. I gotta wait. So, but yeah, I know we got a lot of other stuff to talk about. Anything else you want to say about it?
I can't wait to see where this goes next. And I loved like the last 5 seconds
Yes.
because that was just so ridiculously fascinating.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's just so good. It's so good. I can't wait to see more of this and see what happens. And that line of just they're playing God. It's Jurassic Park, and fuck, man, I couldn't be more excited. I remember talking to my friend about last because I did talk to one person, and he was like, "Dude, you're right. It's Jurassic Park," and he got so much more excited thinking about a park where things just go haywire. For some reason, he didn't get that, and he was just like, "Oh my God, like that's such an awesome concept." I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I can't wait. But yeah, man. Okay, so what else we got here? We want to talk about Flash.
I sure. Strong premiere.
Yeah,
Um,
I was a little disappointed, honestly.
it was kind of underwhelming, but I mean, they couldn't. There wasn't a whole lot they could do. Like, and I think you and I probably like anybody who's familiar with the Flashpoint storyline. There was, we didn't know what to expect because it obviously wasn't going to be what it was in the comics.
Oh, yeah, no way in hell.
But there was,
Yeah.
it worked within the confines of the show. It just kind of, without immediately seeing the final repercussions of all this back and forth in time, it felt a little open-ended, like it felt unfinished.
Yes. And I mean, granted, again, spoilers, of course. I'm curious to see what happened with Iris, but at the same time, I hate this, and I spoke about this at the end of the last season. I'm tired of them dangling the relationship in front of us, and finally, when he gets the girl, they yank her away again, and it's such an old done trope. They just need to do away with it. And that's how this opened up, and I thought, fuck, here we are, one step forward, two steps back, and then by the end of the episode, I don't even know what the fuck's up with her. So it's I'm interested to see how the world's changed, of course, and this is how Supergirl is brought into the world and stuff like that. So, it was important for it to happen. It makes sense for it to happen, but I kind of felt like, God, not again. You know,
Yeah, that's a fair point.
and I want to see Cisco back to normal in the next episode.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Like I want the characters back, kind of. I'm glad that this only lasted an episode and not 6. That would have
Right.
been, I would have been furious because we've done this like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, that it would have been way too long.
Yeah, I'm kind of let's stay away from the multiverse for just a moment and let's throw in Gorilla Grodd and give me some drama and I don't know, don't dangle their relationship back again. That's just we I feel like we've done that too many times.
Yeah.
Um, okay, yeah. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, no, I think that pretty
All
much
right,
covers that.
you want to talk about wrestling, Forza?
Forza is like an upgraded version of Horizon 2, which is awesome. It's exactly what you'd want. The changes aren't major. Like at least none that I've noticed. I mean, they have like you can create your own events at some points, which is fun. You can recruit people into your crew instead of just like, oh, I'm just racing random people on the street for no reason. But it's like,
Oh,
oh, if
okay.
you
So you can create little gangs.
yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Extra little drive avatars to earn credits for you and stuff. So it's like,
Okay.
that's pretty cool. The cars are fun. The map is fun. Like, it's exactly what you'd want if that's what.
Right.
If you're like, oh, I really liked Horizon 2. I hope they just like take this and make it a little better. That's what you get.
Cool. Awesome. There you go. Well, hey, we only got a few minutes left. Let's get into wrestling. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, Bound for Glory happened.
I didn't see it.
That's news by itself. The match between Moose and the Miracle was good. I like Moose. I have a lot of fun with Moose. He's good in WCPW. The opening match between DJZ and whoever else it was, I wasn't paying that much attention to names, for the X Division Championship was really good. The women's match was good. Maria and Gail Kim. Gail Kim, when she left WWE, that was a huge loss for them because she's been awesome. I'm sorry, I love the Great War. I loved it. I love everything that's going on with the Broken Hardys. I really do. And that's something that's either like hit or miss, but I love it. I absolutely adore it. And I
Didn't
hope
he bring his son out or something?
he dedicated the victory to his son and everything. It's like,
That's
it
cool.
was cute.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting, like, it starts off as a match and then they brawl to the back and it's like, oh, these are clearly pre-taped, edited segments, and then it came back to, and now we're gonna finish brawling back inside and everything.
Right. Makes sense.
I like
now,
it. It's fun.
Apparently the show wasn't like almost didn't happen, but someone came in and paid for it or something.
And we're not sure who.
Could it be Unbroken Matt Hardy?
No.
No. Could it be Vince McMahon? It was me all along. No,
it was me all along, Dixie. No, I don't. I don't
right.
think so. No, that's the interesting thing. Eventually, WWE will buy TNA. It may not be next week. It may not be next year. But it's like with WCW. It's the same slow downward death spiral. And eventually, WWE will buy them out. It's just a matter of when. It
sucks because you want a place for indies to go to. And I guess there's just be Ring of Honor and what's
going
on over in England.
Those are kind of the two biggest ones that
where you're not going to get stabbed.
Yeah.
Oh, and Japan. I'm sure people go to Japan.
Well, and you've got Mexico too. You've got AAA. You've got was it CMLL? There are a good handful of places, and there are plenty of American indies too, aside from just Ring of Honor.
Right. But Ring of Honor's the big one, I think.
Right. Yeah. Ring of Honor is definitely like the king of the indie scene. But
so what about WWE? I thought Raw was pretty lame. It felt like last week.
Raw was boring except for the end. That title main event was awesome.
Oh yes. The women's and the title change. I thought that was fantastic.
Yes, and Charlotte's she got tired of just doing a moonsault, so now she's doing a corkscrew moonsault off the top. Jesus. That's insane, and it's gorgeous. The technique on that is incredible.
Oh yeah.
And Jericho and Owens, I would watch them for an hour. Just put the two of them anywhere for an hour. Get them away from Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson, who had no business being there, and ruin that entire segment, and it wouldn't shut up on commentary.
Is that you couldn't? My favorite part was when Xavier was like, "You look like you haven't jumped over anything."
Yeah.
And Kevin Owens got so mad. That was great. That was great. That segment, they need to just keep their thing.
Yeah.
And the end. That was great. Yeah,
Right.
and
I love
I,
Jericho and Owens are a perfect pair. They absolutely are. And
here's
just
here's here's my problem with these two shows though, because I felt like we have been doing the same thing since the brand split. There hasn't been any new rivalries. There hasn't been any. It's literally the same people versus the same people every week. Same with SmackDown. Honestly, it's the same thing.
well, we're
Um,
gonna get a shakeup because we've got No Mercy on Sunday. After which John Cena's leaving the company for a while to do the next season of his reality show.
so
So
he's not going to win the titles. I think
right.
AJ probably keeps it.
AJ retains,
Yeah.
and then whatever else is going on. I hope Ziggler loses because I'm tired
What
of
do you
Dolph Ziggler. I hope he
what do you,
loses and he has to retire. Uh,
what do you think he's going to leave in the ring this time? Like a shorts?
I, I don't. I.
That'd be funny if he just takes his pants off and leaves them in the snow of the ring so
I
dramatically.
tell you what, it'd be the most interesting thing he's ever done, and I think people would cheer the hell out of it. I really do.
Everyone would laugh and cheer, and then suddenly next week have AJ Styles in jean shorts. That would be perfect.
Oh,
That would happen in TNA. That would happen in TNA.
it would, yeah. A Jorts Styles, yeah, that'll work.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, 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 absolutely. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to No Mercy. I'm loving this. Every 2 weeks we got a main event, or a pay per view or whatever you
right?
want to call it. But we're running out of time. We're out of here this week. Again, make sure you go to our Facebook group, like it, share it, comment on it. Go to our iTunes and give us some comments, some stars. Go to our Twitter at We Geek Podcast, at the Logan Witt, at Adam Estep. And that's it. We will see you guys next week, Captain.
Captain.